Have you ever wondered why the quietest people often seem to hold the most power? In a world filled with noise, be it endless conversations, social media updates, or the ceaseless buzz of modern life, those who speak less stand out like a calm harbor amidst a storm. There's something inherently captivating about their silence. It's not the absence of words, but the presence of something deeper: clarity, wisdom, and purpose. The Stoics, masters of ancient philosophy, believed silence was far more than an empty void. It was a tool for introspection and understanding. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. For those who speak less, their thoughts are their canvas, and they ensure each stroke is deliberate, meaningful, and profound." But let's pause for a moment. Why does this matter to you? Because in this fast-paced, loud world, cultivating the traits of those who speak less can be life-changing. These individuals don't speak to be heard, they speak to add value. They listen, observe, and understand more than others ever could. Their silence is a kind of superpower, a force that allows them to navigate life with precision and grace. Imagine being in a room full of chatter. One person remains quiet, listening, nodding occasionally. When they finally speak, the room falls silent. Why? Because people know their words carry weight. That's the essence of what we're diving into today, the traits that make these individuals so impactful, so unique. By understanding these traits, you'll gain insight not just into their minds, but into how you can adopt their qualities in your own life. The journey toward wisdom begins with knowing when to speak, and more importantly, when not to. Before we move on to the first trait, if you're someone who values deep thought, philosophical insights, and self-improvement, take a moment to subscribe. Join this community of thinkers who aspire to live better, wiser, and more intentional lives. Now, let's unlock the 10 traits of people who speak less and why their silence speaks louder than words. 1. They think before they speak. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and to remove all doubt. Abraham Lincoln. People who speak less possess a unique superpower, the ability to think before they speak. In a world where many rush to respond or fill awkward silences, the silent take their time. They reflect deeply, ensuring their words are purposeful and aligned with their values. This habit isn't born out of shyness or fear, but out of intentionality. They understand that words have power, the power to heal, inspire, or harm, and they treat this power with respect. The Stoics saw impulsive speech as a sign of a restless mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Those who speak less take this teaching to heart. They control their reactions, ensuring their words are a product of reason, not emotion. Before entering a conversation, they ask themselves, "Is this worth saying? Will it add value? Will it help or harm?" These questions act as their internal filter, sifting out unnecessary or reckless remarks. This mindset doesn't just make their communication more effective, it makes their presence more impactful. When they speak, people listen, knowing their words carry intention and thoughtfulness. Thinking before speaking also allows these individuals to avoid misunderstandings or regrets. They rarely find themselves backtracking on statements because they've considered their words carefully. This trait fosters trust. Others know they mean what they say and say what they mean. In a practical sense, this behavior can enhance both personal and professional relationships. Think of leaders who command respect, mentors who inspire, or friends who offer advice that truly resonates. Chances are, these individuals share this same trait, a habit of mindful communication. In a noisy world, the silent remind us that thoughtful speech is not just a skill, but an art. Their ability to think before speaking creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to pause, reflect, and value the power of their own words. As we explore the next trait, remember this: silence isn't a weakness, it's a strength rooted in wisdom and purpose. 2. They observe more than they talk. People who speak less are masters of observation. While others focus on filling the air with words, the silent direct their attention outward. They notice the subtleties, the flicker of an emotion in someone's eyes, the shift in tone during a conversation, or the unspoken tensions in a room. This heightened awareness gives them a distinct advantage. They see what others miss. The Stoics emphasized the importance of observing life with clarity. Epictetus advised, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This isn't just a clever aphorism, it's a guide to understanding the world. Observation leads to wisdom, and wisdom guides action. For the silent, this wisdom becomes their greatest ally. In social situations, their observational skills make them empathetic and approachable. They aren't quick to judge because they've learned to see beneath the surface. Instead of reacting impulsively, they process what they've observed and respond thoughtfully. This approach creates an aura of trust. People feel understood, even without words being exchanged. Their ability to notice details also allows them to read between the lines. Where most people hear only what's being said, the silent hear what's left unsaid. It's this depth of understanding that makes their insights so impactful. When they do speak, their words address not just the symptoms of an issue, but its root cause. Observation isn't limited to people, it extends to life itself. Silent individuals notice patterns, trends, and opportunities others overlook. They can walk into a room and assess the energy, or observe nature and draw lessons from its rhythms. This mindset aligns with Stoic teachings that urge us to find meaning in the ordinary. 3. They value depth over breadth. Silent individuals prioritize quality over quantity in every aspect of their lives, especially in their interactions. While many engage in surface-level conversations to fill the void, they prefer meaningful exchanges that challenge the mind and enrich the soul. This preference for depth over breadth reflects a profound understanding of the fleeting nature of time and energy. To them, a deep, thought-provoking conversation with one person is far more fulfilling than small talk with 10. This perspective mirrors Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to focus on what truly matters. Seneca advised, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." Silent individuals embody this principle, seeking relationships and dialogues that nurture growth. Their preference for depth often makes them excellent listeners. They don't interrupt or dominate conversations. They probe with thoughtful questions that reveal layers of meaning. This ability to dig deeper fosters connections that go beyond the superficial, creating bonds built on trust and understanding. This focus on depth also extends to their intellectual pursuits. They would rather master one subject than skim the surface of many. Their commitment to understanding reflects a Stoic commitment to excellence. By concentrating their energy, they achieve a level of insight that most overlook in their haste to cover more ground. 4. They are masters of self-control. One of the most defining traits of people who speak less is their mastery over self-control. In a world that often encourages impulsive reactions and immediate responses, the silent choose restraint. They understand the immense power in pausing, reflecting, and ensuring that their words align with their values. The Stoics viewed self-control as the foundation of a virtuous life. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Wasting time on arguments, heated words, or thoughtless remarks is something silent individuals consciously avoid. Instead, they conserve their energy for actions and words that truly matter. Silent people don't let emotions dictate their speech. When faced with provocation, they resist the urge to retaliate with words. Instead, they embrace silence as a shield, allowing them to assess the situation calmly. This behavior is not weakness, but profound strength. It takes more courage to stay quiet and composed than to lash out in anger or frustration. Their self-control extends beyond avoiding unnecessary arguments. It also involves choosing the right time and place to speak. They understand the value of timing and context, recognizing that even the most profound words can fall flat if delivered at the wrong moment. By mastering their impulses, they ensure their words carry weight when spoken. This trait also nurtures their inner peace. They don't replay conversations filled with regret or wish they had said less. Instead, they walk away from interactions knowing they've remained true to themselves. This alignment with their values enhances their confidence and builds trust in their relationships. The silent remind us that self-control is not about suppressing emotions, but channeling them constructively. They show that true power lies not in dominating others with words, but in mastering one's own mind. As we explore the next trait, reflect on the times you've spoken out of impulse. Imagine the impact you could have if you paused, reflected, and spoke with intention instead. 5. They are comfortable with silence. People who speak less have an extraordinary relationship with silence. While many find silence uncomfortable or even unsettling, they embrace it as a sanctuary. To them, silence isn't empty. It's alive with potential. It's a space where they can think, reflect, and grow. In today's world, silence is often seen as something to be avoided. People fill every gap with noise, be it chatter, music, or scrolling through their phones. But the silent ones understand that silence is where clarity resides. The Stoics, too, recognized the power of solitude and quiet. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about retreating into oneself to find peace, stating, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This comfort with silence makes them stand out. In social settings, they don't feel the need to talk just to avoid awkwardness. Instead, they remain composed, letting their presence speak louder than words. Their calmness can even influence those around them, creating an environment of ease and authenticity. Silence is also their tool for self-discovery. In the stillness, they confront their thoughts, emotions, and fears. This process of introspection leads to personal growth and a deeper understanding of life. It's no wonder that they often exude wisdom and tranquility. Moreover, their comfort with silence allows them to listen better. When they aren't preoccupied with crafting their next response, they fully absorb what others are saying. This makes them empathetic and insightful, capable of understanding not just words, but emotions and intentions. 6. They are excellent listener. People who speak less have mastered the art of listening, a skill that's becoming increasingly rare in today's fast-paced, self-centered world. While others rush to share their thoughts or dominate conversations, the silent focus on truly hearing what others are saying. They aren't just passive participants, they engage deeply, picking up nuances, emotions, and even unspoken words. The Stoics valued listening as a pathway to wisdom. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Silent individuals live by this principle. They listen not to respond, but to understand. This approach helps them gather information, gain perspective, and build meaningful relationships. Listening is also an act of respect. By giving their full attention, silent individuals make others feel valued and heard. In a world where interruptions and half-hearted attention are the norms, their genuine focus creates a refreshing contrast. It's no wonder that people are drawn to them, often seeking their advice or company. This skill extends beyond personal relationships. Silent individuals excel in professional and social settings because they understand the dynamics of communication. They pick up on subtle cues, identify underlying concerns, and respond thoughtfully. Their ability to listen before speaking often leads to better decisions and more productive interactions. Ultimately, their listening isn't just about others, it's also a reflection of their inner calm and confidence. They don't feel the need to constantly prove themselves or fill the air with their voice. By staying quiet and observant, they gain an edge in understanding the world around them. As we move forward, think about your own conversations. Are you truly listening, or are you just waiting for your turn to speak? The silent remind us that in listening, we often learn more than we ever could by talking. 7. They are highly disciplined. Discipline is the backbone of those who speak less. Their ability to remain silent in situations that demand restraint stems from a deep sense of self-discipline. They know when to hold back, when to step forward, and when to say nothing at all. In Stoicism, discipline is a cornerstone of virtue. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Silent individuals exemplify this by maintaining control over their impulses, emotions, and words. This discipline isn't just about withholding speech. It extends to how they structure their lives. Silent individuals often live intentionally, choosing actions and habits that align with their goals and values. They resist the temptation of meaningless distractions, opting instead to focus on what truly matters. Their disciplined approach makes them reliable and trustworthy. Whether it's in their personal or professional lives, people know they can count on them. Their words are not just promises, but commitments backed by action. Discipline also grants them clarity. By not succumbing to the chaos of impulsive speech or decisions, they maintain a clear mind. This clarity helps them navigate challenges with composure, making them seem unshakable in the face of adversity. For those who speak less, discipline is more than a habit. It's a philosophy. It's the quiet force that allows them to remain steady and grounded while the world around them churns with noise and chaos. 8. They speak only when necessary. A defining trait of people who speak less is their unwavering commitment to purposeful communication. They don't speak for the sake of speaking. Every word they utter has a reason, a weight, and an intention behind it. This principle aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings. The philosophy emphasizes the importance of action over words and urges us to avoid unnecessary chatter. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Silent individuals embody this by focusing on meaningful actions instead of empty words. When they do speak, their words resonate. Why? Because people know that when a silent person chooses to share their thoughts, it's worth listening. Their speech is like a rare gem, valuable precisely because it's not overused. This restraint extends to their interactions with others. They avoid gossip, meaningless debates, and idle chatter, which often drain energy and foster negativity. Instead, they save their words for moments where they can make a real impact. Speaking only when necessary also enhances their credibility. They aren't known for talking just to fill silences, so when they do share their opinion, people take notice. This approach builds trust and respect, as others see them as thoughtful, intentional, and wise. In a world addicted to constant communication, their measured approach is a reminder of the power of less. It shows that sometimes saying nothing is the best way to say everything. 9. They are profoundly independent. People who speak less often display a profound sense of independence. They don't rely on external validation or the opinions of others to define their self-worth. Instead, their confidence and identity come from within. This independence allows them to operate differently from those who feel compelled to share every thought or seek constant attention. Silent individuals are content with their own company. They use their quiet moments to reflect, grow, and nurture their inner world. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from detachment, letting go of things beyond our control. Silent individuals practice this by not seeking approval through their words. Their self-assurance doesn't require external affirmation, and this makes them immune to the pressures of conformity. Their independence is also evident in how they approach problems. They think critically, relying on their observations and inner wisdom rather than blindly following the crowd. This ability to think for themselves makes them leaders, even if they don't actively seek leadership roles. Their quiet independence is not arrogance, it's humility rooted in self-awareness. They know who they are and what they stand for, and they don't feel the need to broadcast it. Instead, their actions quietly reflect their values. As we explore the final trait, remember this: independence isn't about isolation, it's about strength. The silent show us that true freedom begins when we learn to rely on ourselves. 10. They are deeply introspective. Introspection is the cornerstone of those who speak less. They are deeply connected to their inner selves, constantly reflecting on their thoughts, emotions, and actions. Their silence is not emptiness, but a fertile ground for self-discovery and personal growth. This introspection aligns with the Stoic practice of daily self-reflection. At the end of each day, Stoics like Marcus Aurelius would evaluate their actions, asking themselves if they lived according to their principles. Silent individuals naturally follow this practice, using their quiet moments to assess their lives and make adjustments where necessary. Their introspection makes them more self-aware than most. They understand their strengths, weaknesses, and triggers, allowing them to navigate life with clarity and purpose. This self-awareness also makes them more empathetic, as they can relate to the struggles and emotions of others on a deeper level. Their reflective nature isn't limited to themselves. They also examine the world around them. They question assumptions, challenge norms, and seek to understand the bigger picture. This curiosity often leads them to profound insights, which they use to guide their actions. In a society obsessed with outward achievements, their introspection serves as a reminder of the importance of inner work. They show us that true growth comes not from what we say or do, but from how well we know ourselves. Silent individuals prove that in stillness there is strength, in reflection there is wisdom, and in silence there is transformation. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on the power of silence and the traits we've explored. People who speak less aren't just quiet for the sake of it. They embody wisdom, discipline, and a deep understanding of themselves and the world around them. They remind us that it's not about saying more, it's about saying what truly matters. In a noisy world, their calm presence speaks volumes. They show us that restraint isn't weakness, but strength. That silence isn't emptiness, but clarity. And that mastering your words is, in many ways, mastering your life. Now, think about your own journey. How can you start embracing these traits in your daily life? Whether it's practicing self-control, finding comfort in silence, or speaking with intention, every step you take brings you closer to a more thoughtful, intentional version of yourself. If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might need a little Stoic wisdom in their life. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more thought-provoking content like this. Together, we'll keep exploring the timeless lessons that make us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. See you in the next video.